Okay, this is like a trivia question. Only because I'm throwing it out there because I keep racking my brain on this and I can't come up with the names, okay? But I know it's the truth. It's historically true, okay? But I cannot just pull out of my memory banks the names that I'm looking for, okay? So if you can come up with the names before I do, um, that'd be cool. So here's the trivia question. Who is the Chinese leader that refused to pick up, learn, or speak the English language? And when it came to matters of discussion that required any type of communication, whether it be verbal, written, or otherwise, with the English people, he refused to have anybody interpret his words in fear that they would not interpret them as he had spoken them. And so he relied on his son for those interpretations. He was a Chinese leader, not a dictator, okay? Leaders are different from dictators. Leaders lead their people to better places, okay? Dictators lower their people, hold them in place, and make them work for the betterment of others, not themselves, much like slavery, okay? So, applying that knowledge of a leader versus a dictator, you will not find leaders in the United States. They're dictators, every fucking one of them, okay? The reason why I'm trying to tap my memory banks on this Chinese leader because he had incredible knowledge and he also had foresight, okay, the ability to see things that were about to occur based on agreements with other people. And that shit, I mean, that stuff right there is some huge ass wisdom to be had, okay? And he said through his son's lips and rolling off his son's tongue on behalf of his father, he said, there will come a day when the United States will either fall and crumble or it will rise above all the rest, okay? And he further said that the crumbling or the rising of the United States will be dependent on one thing and one thing only. And that would be the structure of their laws and how well they were able to manage and maintain the structure of the laws as they were originally created for the formation of the country to begin with. And at some point, they would be tested on their own laws. And the outcome of all that testing will determine if they remained as a country or if they would crumble and fall. So much like a prediction from a great, very wise, intelligent leader who was Chinese and refused to pick up using his own tongue to spill any words or on any pages or of writing. He didn't want to see anything English anywhere near him. And so all agreements would go to his son. His son would interpret them, even if they were in writing. He would interpret those into different pages, into the Chinese language, and then they would be fact checked to make sure that there was a lot of them, to make sure he didn't overlook anything. And once those agreements were fully translated, they would get passed to his father. His father would then make decisions. The decisions would go to his son, and his son would then be responsible for crafting up any type of agreement that had any attachment to the English. Now, whether that be English from England, English-speaking people, or the people of the United States who chose and elected the English language to be the overriding language of the country. So, the trivia question, what are their names? Now, in my mind, I can see them, okay? So if I saw their picture or a portrait somewhere in a book, I would be able to say, well, that's them. But I cannot, for the life of me, no matter how much and I can't spend a lot of time on trying to tap my memory banks on this shit. But it's something that just keeps coming back to me. What were their names? The father and the son. What were their names? It's a trivia question. If you know, I mean, even if you think you know, just comment below, because even if you think you know, because then, well, it gives me something to go off of, okay? And one thing always leads to another with me. So, all right, let's see who can jump in on this trivia. Who's willing to spend some time researching, or perhaps they just have the knowledge at hand and can share.